The scariest part of that trip was not the breathing I heard inside the bathroom, and not even the figure I thought I saw standing beside my bed at 4 a.m. The scariest part was discovering later that nobody had actually come downstairs that night. This happened around 2 or 3 years ago when I followed my friend and his girlfriend for a short vacation stay near Bentong. The house we rented looked normal from outside, just an ordinary double-storey homestay surrounded by quiet roads and trees. But the moment I entered, I already felt uncomfortable. Not scared exactly, just a heavy feeling in my chest like something inside the house did not want us there. Upstairs had the bedrooms, while downstairs had the living room, kitchen, and bathroom area. During daytime, the house looked normal, but once evening came, the downstairs suddenly felt too quiet. Every time I walked there alone, especially near the bathroom, I honestly felt like somebody was silently watching me from somewhere nearby. At first I ignored it, because I didn't want to sound paranoid in front of my friends. But later that night, while showering downstairs, the feeling became much worse. While washing my hair, I suddenly felt like someone was standing directly in front of me, close enough that if I opened my eyes, I would see a face right in front of mine. Then came something that instantly made my body freeze. I could feel soft breathing near my ear. Not wind, not imagination, actual breathing. I immediately turned around, but nobody was there. After that, I rushed out of the bathroom pretending nothing happened. That evening, we drove to Bentong for food, and during the journey, we passed several accidents along the highway one after another. Around 7 p.m., my friend suddenly played religious songs loudly inside the car. Usually he was the noisy type who joked non-stop, but that night he became strangely quiet, staring outside the window most of the journey, while the road around us became darker and darker. Even his girlfriend noticed the atmosphere changing. When we finally returned to the house later that night, he suddenly started acting overly cheerful again, singing loudly, joking, almost like he was forcing himself not to think about something. But honestly, the moment we stepped back inside the house, that heavy feeling returned immediately. After a while, I told him I was tired and wanted to sleep. My friend decided to sleep in the upstairs bedroom with me, while his girlfriend stayed downstairs watching television for a while longer. I remember waking up halfway around 4 a.m. after hearing footsteps near the room door. My eyes were barely open, but I clearly saw someone enter the room slowly. I thought it was my friend's girlfriend finally coming upstairs to sleep. I remember seeing her standing beside the bed quietly for a few seconds. She wasn't moving. She was just standing there looking toward us in the darkness. Then slowly, she lay down beside the bed near us. I was too sleepy to think much about it, so I closed my eyes again. The next morning, the first thing I noticed was the bed beside us was empty, completely untouched. At first, I thought maybe she woke up early and went downstairs, but when I walked down, I found her asleep on the couch in the living room downstairs. I casually asked why she suddenly decided to sleep downstairs during the night, expecting her to laugh about it. Instead, she looked confused immediately and said, "What are you talking about? I never came upstairs." The moment she said that, my entire body went cold. I laughed nervously, because I thought she was joking, but she kept insisting seriously that she stayed downstairs the entire night because she suddenly felt too afraid to walk upstairs alone. The more she spoke, the more uneasy I became because I know what I saw that night. I know someone walked into the room around 4 a.m. I know someone stood beside the bed watching us silently before lying down nearby. Later that night, the three of us were on a conference call talking about the trip again, because honestly, none of us could stop thinking about that house. That was when she finally admitted something she hid from us during the stay. She said while sitting alone downstairs watching television that night, she suddenly heard footsteps upstairs moving slowly around our room, even though both of us were already supposed to be asleep. At one point, she also heard what sounded like near the staircase. That was why she became too frightened to come upstairs again. The moment she finished saying that, I finally told them properly about what happened inside the bathroom, the breathing near my ear, the feeling that someone was standing directly in front of me while I showered. Before I could even finish talking, my friend suddenly interrupted and said the exact same thing happened to him too. He said while showering there earlier that day, he also felt like somebody leaned close beside him and breathed softly near his ear. The scariest part was how similar all our experiences were. The heavy atmosphere, the breathing, the footsteps, the feeling of being watched, somebody standing too close without speaking. After that trip, none of us ever stayed there again, but until today, I still remember the feeling inside that house very clearly. It never felt empty. Even now, when I wake up suddenly around 3 or 4 a.m., sometimes I still remember the figure I saw standing beside the bed in the dark room. Completely silent, just staring at us before slowly lying down nearby. And the worst part is, I still don't know who I actually saw that night. If you woke up and saw someone standing beside your bed at 4 a.m., would you check properly who it was? Or pretend to stay asleep? Let me know in the comments. And follow for more true horror stories.